Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Hacknet. It's been a little while since I played, less than a week, I think, but still some time. And so I need to review a little bit what the heck missions we were in the middle of. So we did this one, that's great. We still couldn't get Nikes to give us any credit for, like, defacing the KFC website. I think CSEC, yeah, so CSEC wants to offer me a mission about tracking down Bit. But there might have been a few more to do. Remind me where the CSEC server is, please. Ugh, it's kind of hard to find on this map, but it was down here somewhere, right? Yeah, CSEC. Okay, login is me here. And so we have a few options. We have this one. It's like not that exciting. A family member of an executed individual wants to have their death row added to the official listings. Well, yeah, of course the family thought that it was unjustly ruled. Okay, well, I don't know. Like, we could do that. I think I wouldn't mind a warm-up before I go tracking down Bit. But maybe we'll do this one Project Junebug that was locked for a while. Okay, sure, this sounds exciting. Do something questionable and delicate. Oh my gosh, I forgot how loud that email sound is. Once again, be thankful you don't have to listen to that. Hacker, this isn't a normal request and we're not going to treat it as such. We've been asked to perform a euthanization. Goodness. I'm surprised that that's still illegal in the future where this game happens. Obviously, we sent out a few others to dig up data on it, and a few from outside groups so as not to raise suspicion. Sent out a few others to dig data. And largely speaking, it's all come back clear. It seems the man in question is Elliot Witt. He's hospitalized in pain and has been denied death. Okay. A failed attempt by his family earlier has prevented them from performing subsequent efforts. Tell them to propose this option. It seems the pacemaker he is fitted with allows remote access with proper authorization, and they believe this may be an avenue to fulfill this request. Naturally, we can accept that you might not want to be involved. Reply with deny and we'll remove you. If you do decide to help us, you should know that it will likely take some amount of investigation and testing. I'd be interested to talk to the guy and make sure that he actually wants this and we're not just killing some dude. Well, I mean, we would be just killing some dude, but that, like, he wants it. Okay, so this is something that we could choose to deny, but I suppose we can look around first. So the idea is to log into this medical thing, which we had a password for. I don't know if we still do. I remember. Oh, this is Universal Medical. Yeah, that's right. So, okay, project details. There's his name. There's what we want to do. And this is the server. Yeah. So, remind me how this server is set up, please. Do we have to get a proxy going? We do. And we don't have a medical services hacker thing, do we? No. Of course, we can still get in through all the other stuff. Let's go start up a few shells. And as I recall, whenever we log out, we sort of lose our root access to various things and have to get it back, which is kind of a pain. Right? Oh, admin bear. Oh, maybe we don't lose it. And I just have to go through login instead of through whatever else. Yeah, I see. Alright, 3 shells should be enough to overwhelm their proxy thing while I get going on the firewall. Actually, I remember now. The password is just medical, the firewall password. So we should be able to skip that part and do the other various hacks while. I guess we can't do that while the proxy is running, right? You have to wait for the proxy. Okay. In that case, let's grab another couple of shells to get through the proxy as fast as possible. Okay, that should do. 5, right? Sure. Down here. Nmap, please. Nmap. Oh, I only see 4 shells. I thought I had started a 5th. Why is overload not? Oh, it is doing a thing. It just doesn't have a timer. Solve medical. No? Alright. Am I wrong? I guess this must be a different server. This must not be the one I was breaking into before. Oh, medicate. Alright. I wonder, actually, did I just log in? No. Okay. I thought maybe it was like those others that I could log into, even though I didn't realize it. So let's start up the SQL Server thing on 1433. SSH crack on 22. Not quite enough room. So let's close these shells we turned out not to need. Oh, SSH crack is closed. I forgot which thing we were using. FTP on 21, web server 1 on 80. And we'll queue up an SMTP on 25. Might as well start a trap on. Is this one my local? I can't even read this orange text. Whatever, never mind. Okay, so in a moment we'll be in and we can look up Elliot Witt. Database, search, L, how many L's? 2 L's. Okay. So we have an ID. It says pacemaker connection ID, but that's just weird. That's like an IP address. It's not a connection ID. Okay, fine. So let's we scan here. What happens? Nothing much. All right. So let's notes. Add a note, please. Oh, we already have notes open. So close this one. No, close that. Add note. Pacemaker 202.6.141.219 and another note pacemaker docs 66.96.147.84. All right. So that's everything we need from this server, just, right? Yeah, we found out how to get to the guy and also like what to do once we're there. So if I log in here, yeah, has user admin and now it knows the password. All right, so next time we come back, we can look around. Yeah, this is the same one we looked around at before. Okay, whatever. Um, let's just disconnect. Is there anything in bin? I forget. No. Okay, I thought they might have had a medical server bypassing thing. Fine. So let's go check out, I guess, the pacemaker docs first, so we find out what to do. Connect to 66.90.147.84. Scanning. Oh, could not find computer. I typed it wrong. 6, not 66. 6? What? 66.96. I just can't read. This font is like kind of small. And I'm having a little trouble reading. 66.96.147.84 looks right. Okay, so this is a biotech news page. Maybe I can just read about the thing. Yes. Pacemaker, security, clearance. Okay, so looks like this information is all public. I won't have to break into them. Although, what about using this server? Interesting. So it'll only display content that relates to stuff you have active. But I don't. Why is it showing me this stuff at all? Well, maybe it does. No, this stuff? Huh. Alright. So, what? What is this supposed to mean, then? My registered active products. Okay, well, so maybe... I need to somehow connect to this. Like, the data here looks relevant, but I should check that the version of the firmware that we're working with really is 2.44, I guess. So let's try instead connecting to the pacemaker itself at 202.6.141.19. 202.6.141.19. Tab complete the con, please. Could not find computer at the... Did I type it in wrong when I was copying it down? Ugh, what a pain. Login. Oh, it lost my password. Password was Murphy, right? No. Oh, what a pain. Okay, well, we'll just break in again, I guess. Whew, boy, just squeezed in the last little bit of memory there, huh? I wish there was some way to like take notes a little bit more reliably, where I could just like click on a piece of data and say, "Yeah, save that, please," instead of having to copy it down by hand, which is somewhat unreliable. Okay, so we were looking for quit, right? I missed this. Missed a bunch of stuff. Elliot quit. I don't know what is wrong with like this keyboard or my fingers or what. I don't type this badly. I missed the 219, not just 19. All right. Let's remove all this and see what login said. Admin star. Okay. So let's see if we can connect to the same thing, but 219. Here we are. View monitor. No. Admin login. Well, we don't have the password, so forget it. Yeah, we need a medical services bypass. Okay, so we're going to learn about how to use that, I guess, at that other server we were looking at. Yeah, okay. Which was... Well, okay, let's remove this note about where the pacemaker is and add a new note with the proper actual IP address, 202.6.141.219. That looks right. And let's connect back to the docs site at 66.96.147.84. Okay, so here we are again. And tell me about security and clearance. This details general security functionality. For details, clearing security requires several steps. First, connect the pacemaker, of course. Log in as an administrator using details that have been assigned on a per-case basis. This is protected using Kellis's proprietary microchip protection system on port 6652. So that's not the port that the medical services stuff was running on. That was like port 104, I think. At this stage, remote monitoring is enabled. To perform the firmware update, a secondary login must be performed using an authentication code from an authorized manufacturer. Okay. What about firmware and patching here? Firmware was written by Eidolonsoft. Ah, they have a server where you figure out like how to get that software. Builds singed. Try signed. Boy, these guys are terrible at writing. Alright, I guess this is like... Okay, so whatever. Here's this email address, or there's an email address and an IP address. Okay. Which one do I do first? Well, let's make a new note of the IP address. Eidolon IP is 111.105.22.1. Let's put that little space in there. And then let's send an email to support@eidolonsoft.com and see if we get anything interesting back. Can I not? I literally cannot compose emails to someone who has not yet emailed me. Alright then. Well, let's connect to that, I guess. 101.105.22.1. God, every time. I really... One complaint I have about this game is if you're going to make a terminal, please, please, please make it support all, like, at least some amount of the keyboard shortcuts that, like, a normal, real terminal supports. It's so painful to, like, hit Control-A and have it not go to the beginning of the line. Instead, it, like, goes back one character? What? I don't know. And you don't have shortcuts like meta B or meta D or whatever to like skip over whole words at a time. Like obviously they're not going to implement a whole Unix like operating system in there that supports every command, but like simple bash keyboard shortcuts would be real nice. It's just like this kind of uncanny valley where you're like typing in stuff that looks a little bit like Unix, and so you're like using the keyboard shortcuts you're used to for Unix, and like they don't work. Also, like if I hold down a key to navigate, it's so slow. How do I even get to the other side of the word in time to like do something interesting? So like I wish I could set the keyboard repeat rate higher, and so on. All right, so we can't do anything on the server without hacking into it, evidently. But it shouldn't be too hard to hack into. They don't really do anything, so I don't have any particular security is what I'm getting at. Well, they at least have a probe. So good for them. Ugh, let's close this probe and try again. There we go. So we're going to want to download probably some software and maybe some documentation from here. I'm not sure what all we're going to need, but we'll have plenty of time to look around. Projects looks promising. Kellis is the one that is in charge of our actual stuff. 0.22 is the version we want. It was 0.22.4 as I recall, but this. So let's see what's in Catalyst. Well, I don't know. Let's copy this as well. Who knows? Maybe we need it for something. Anything in tests? Let's copy the test guide and yeah, this KB thing is not that interesting probably. What about the paste with this is maybe useful. What else do we have? What do they have in internal? In goals, progressively do, okay, who cares? Cat idle on security notes. As discussed, all right, we're gonna need this too. Yeah, this is important login data. Do they have anything in bin, like a medical thing? No? All right. Anything cool in home? Nah. All right, well, let's just remove all the logs. And, I don't know, I'll look around in sys, I guess, while we're waiting, just to see if there's anything interesting here. But, of course, no, it's the same stuff as everything else. Not exit, what am I thinking? Disconnect. And, Soft production server. Oh, I forgot to scan it. Let's log in as admin and scan it. Anything else? No, nothing. Fine. And they're not running any other interesting programs that we could like log into. Okay. So let's disconnect here and look around at the stuff that we downloaded and see what's interesting. We have, we got like 5 interesting files, right? 2 DLLs and like 3, well, 2 DLLs, 2 text files, and a config file that seems like it's probably not going to be useful for anything, but who knows? So what's going on with the security notes? They've added a new eadmin for all the products. The account has full privileges and testing functions. What this means is that support teams, yeah, okay. So there's the username and password. Fine. What else do we have? We have this test guide thing. Before running the unit tests, a cycle check. Up to the test station. Okay. Current signed. So this is a DLL. Do not upload it to any deploy-ready services. Sure. Okay, so it sounds like just putting this on a pacemaker that we've logged into will perhaps magically ruin the device. All right. So now let's go back to this guy's pacemaker login and see if we can somehow use the admin. Oh, I'm going to have to make a note of the admin stuff, aren't I? Because I won't be able to read it easily while I'm trying to log into his stuff. I can just 1086. I can just remember that. Capital E admin 1086. All right. Connect to the pacemaker, which is at 202.6.141.219. Admin login is eadmin 1086. Failed. Why? Is this the second part of the two-step process of logging in? And we need a different thing for, because like we read on that other server, like about how there are two things to do, right? Jeez, where the heck was it? I hate having to type this in every time. Connect to the data stocks, which is at 66.96.147.84. And where is that? It's way down here in the bottom right. All right. So remote tools. The pacemaker can be connected to only except binary signed. Yeah, okay, I have all that. The updating system. Okay. Security and clearance. Connect. Log in as an administrator. Details that have been assigned by the client. So that's what we have already. That's the eadmin thing. Right? Or I guess this is the authorized software manufacturer authentication code, is what we have as the second step, I guess. So maybe I need to look around some more in his medical records. Admin star. They changed it again. I don't appreciate that. Oh, medicate. Solve medicate, please. Yeah, so maybe his records indicate like what his login ID is or something, and that I just didn't notice it while I was there last. At least there's no particular time pressure with all of this stuff. Just more of a research-oriented mission, I guess, where we have to figure out the right set of steps rather than just sort of like do the same stuff we've been doing all game. I think that's cool. I was thinking about like this game, and it seems like a lot of the stuff we've had to do so far has just been pretty mechanical. I appreciate having a little bit more creative stuff to do. Elliot quit. That second L didn't go, man. Okay. He has a pacemaker. There's a reference. Heart rate regulation. No visits. Oh, I could have emailed this to myself, I suppose, instead of making notes of these two things. But having the notes available is nice. So there's nothing in here about what his username is, or any of that. Okay. Is there some step I'm not thinking of here? Like, K. Ellis Biotech and you. Yeah, nothing instructive here. Pacemaker remote tools, yeah, it doesn't like tell us anything. Security and clearance. Using details. So the administrator, that's something he set himself. Not the manufacturer. Does that mean that I need to talk to him? To ask, like, hey, dude, what is the password? Maybe that's the thing to do. Where's the email? I guess it doesn't matter. It's up here, right? So Project Junebug. Yeah, so we found its manufacturers. What happens if I reply help? Just for fun. Help. Yeah, they're not interested in any of that. They're just... All I can do is finish the mission or say deny if I give up, basically. So we have the medical thing. We have the details. Yeah, that's just this note we have up here about the target's name. All right, let's try connecting to Eidolon again. Where the heck are they? Yeah, they're down here. Login as administrator. Okay. First, let's scan. Am I missing something? No. View file system. Let's look around again. Kellis. Yeah, it's Kellis. They're the ones for sure. NTech is a totally different thing, right? Yeah. Who knows what this is, but it's not that. It's a lot of buzzwords is what it is, I guess. And Kellis. We have a firmware we can use, and also a test firmware we can use. You know what, just in case, let's download this. Maybe I need this thing in order to run the tests. But of course that's not going to address our current problem. An internal .1086 eadmin. So that's the thing to do after we log in using the client's ID. There's nothing in here. Nothing interesting here. Alright. Let's just get rid of the logs again. Not sure where to go to find this last password. I guess the idea is to not use a password, but to find a cracker for the medical thing? Maybe? It seems like we could just ask the patient, you know, since he wants someone to ruin his life. But I guess what we need to do instead is find that tool that lets you break through medical device, right? Like the port. I keep forgetting to check out. Like, where the heck? I don't want to have to keep typing out this guy's IP address by hand. Where is? I'm just gonna mouse over all these till I find him, and then next time I won't have to do this again, assuming I remember anyway. This is some marketing. I don't remember what these guys were all about, but that's not it, obviously. KBT pacemaker down here. Okay, it's not next to anything interesting, but we'll try to remember. Oh, right. I wasn't actually... Yeah. What I actually want to do is nmap this, but I clicked login instead. So this, right, we want to find something that'll break port 104. Who do we know that might store such a thing? Well, CSEC, right? So maybe it's on... I wouldn't think it's on Crossroads, but let's look around. Bin, no. Home. Yeah, who knows what all this stuff is, but it's clearly not what we're looking for. The drop server seems quite unlikely. Of course, I'm not authorized to actually download stuff from this, but that's fine. We can break in, right? And then I can at least look around and see what's going on here. Probably nothing too useful, but I'd like to check. Since we know exactly what we're looking for, we just don't know where it is. I think it's more likely that it's on the CSET asset server, and I should have checked there first since it's easy to get there, whereas this is like kind of a pain, but I didn't remember that one existed for a minute. Plus, like, it's nice to know, right? Server message. That's interesting. Oh, that's probably just like what's displayed. Yeah. Okay. Okay, ls bin. Nothing here. And in home, probably nothing as well, right? Yeah. Alright, so this was not the answer, but that's fine. We can look at the CSEC assets server where they might actually put such a thing. Bin? Yeah, but it's not here, right? Sequencer. What is Sequencer about? I don't remember what Sequencer was about. Do we have a copy of Sequencer? We do. What does it do? I don't remember. Was it in home or something? No. Well, okay, it's not what we were looking for. Okay. Now, you might imagine that the University Medical might have, or Universal Medical might have the information about how to do this. Every time they change the password, it's rude. Solve medicate. Like, ugh. Where else on this server would be the place to look for this data? Like, I looked in bin, which is the only place it really ought to be. It's not like these things have a humongous... Oh, right, not HTTP, but web server. It's not like these things have a humongous file system. We should be able to find some simple file we're looking for. If it were here. And I can't think who else would have such a program. So I'm not sure what to do next, really. Nothing in bin. And in medical, there's just a whole bunch of these record files, right? I'll scroll through quickly, but I don't expect to find one that's like, here's how to break into medical devices.txt. Yeah, nothing there. And in home, medical database info. Okay. So this is just like blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Not interesting. The entropy guys wouldn't have this. It's more advanced than the stuff they were doing. I mean, we can maybe go check if we can find their damn server. Let's go find a link to it in our email somewhere. Right? Oh, whoops! Not log out. Next, previous page. Entropy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Not this one, but this one. The asset server is here. And we log in, look around. Here's bin, and it doesn't have a way to do this. Backups, FTP bounce. Okay. Where else could we look? We only have. Well, all right. Let's look around in our home. Well, let's look in bin, I guess, first. See if there's anything here that I'm missing. And no, this stuff is all fairly benign. Nothing too exciting. And in home, we have these last few files. Pacemaker firmware, which is just a whole bunch of junk. Catalyst driver, likewise junk. Test guide is, yeah, here's the cycle test. Here's their security notes, which is the second username and password we're going to need. And then there's this test suite, which is not that interesting. So I guess we have to ask ourselves, where would Elliot Witt store his password? Is there anywhere that we might have come across such a thing? There was that one company we messed with a while ago who that CEO who was like, they were working on deck decryption and stuff, and the CEO, this one, right? CSEC encode. I was thinking maybe that like that company employed this Elliot Witt, but I don't think so. Oops. Wincy, yeah. Boy, I don't really want to give up on this mission, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I think I'm going to do a little bit more looking around off camera. Maybe look for a quick hint online so I can get back to things. But this episode's sort of dragging on. We're not really getting anywhere, so I'll call an end to this one. And then you can find out in the next episode. Well, not find out. You come back to the next episode where hopefully we'll have a better approach to the second half of this mission, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.